What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ace. This is Fantasize Football. We back again at y'all with another mock draft, baby. You know me. I love this shit. I love doing mock drafts. Sick, deranged, lost. I don't know. It's early. I don't care. I'm doing it, man. I want to do every spot, all different types of mocks before the season comes, so y'all can see kind of what I'm doing from everywhere, whether it be 10 teams, 12 teams, full PPR, half PPR, 1 through 12, 1 through 10 if it's 10. If you want to do 14, whatever, maybe we'll do that. If there's any mocks you guys want to see, any specific spots or any specific format, things like that, just let me know down in the comments. I'd be more than happy to get to that for you guys as soon as I can. But yeah, so today what we're going to be doing is a 10-team full PPR draft, 3 wide receivers, so 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 3 receivers, a tight end, and 7 bench spots, and a flex, of course. But yeah, so we're going to be using the Fantasy Pros Mock Draft Simulator once again, drafting against the expert consensus rankings. Every draft is different. It's a really fun, cool tool to use. So if you guys don't have it, it is definitely worth it. If you're big into doing mock drafts and stuff, it's really fun. It's really easy to use. So good interface, but yeah, man. So let's get into it. I'm excited. I love doing this. So let's go on down here. And let's start our draft, baby. So we're picking from the 10 spot today. I figured we picked from the first spot. Last time this is a 10-team league. So we go to from first to picking last. We'll have back-to-back picks again. But I just thought this would be kind of cool to do it this way so we won't see too much convergence with players. I mean, it is 10 teams versus 12 teams, so maybe we will see more. But yeah, man, let's just get into it. And before we make our pick, let's quickly touch on the draft board and what has happened thus far. So we see Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor at the 102, Saquon, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Devontae Adams, Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, and Ezekiel Elliott. Oh yeah, by the way, I rewatched my first mock draft, and I had a good idea for a little drinking game for y'all when we're doing these mocks. And it's whenever I say the words upside or standard, then go ahead and take yourself a shot, because I say that a shit ton. So yeah, like I said, McCaffrey, JT, Saquon, Cook, Kamara, Devontae Adams, Derrick Henry, Chubb, Elliott. A lot of running backs going early, man. It's what you're going to see in the majority of your drafts. I mean, Devontae Adams being the only wide receiver here. I mean, some leagues you will see more wide receivers, maybe Diggs and Hill and maybe Travis Kelce in there. But yeah, man, I'm looking here and relatively standard. Yeah, there you go. Take your first shot. But yeah, let's go over to the cheat sheet and see what we're looking at here. We're going to open this up a bit. All right. So yeah, man. First and foremost, I'm definitely going to be going with a running back with my first pick. Generally, I am the type of cat, like I've said many a times, to go with 2 running backs in the first 2 rounds. 10-team leagues, let's actually pull up the roster too a little bit. 10-team leagues, I do tend to be more open to moving away from that strategy, and especially in a position like this where I'm picking from at a swing pick, where I can kind of be a little more flexible with back-to-back picks, because there is going to be some value that falls, like as you see with all these running backs going very early. But yeah, man, I'm definitely going to take at least 1 running back. So for me here, I'm looking at the board. We got Eckler, Aaron Jones, Mixon, Cam Akers, Antonio Gibson, Swift. And then at wide receiver, we got Tyreek Hill, Diggs, who's actually my wide receiver 2, Hopkins, A.J. Brown. And then tight end, the only one we would really consider is Travis Kelce. Let's see here. Running back, it's between Eckler and Aaron Jones for me. And this could change, obviously, barring what happens with Aaron Rodgers. But as of right now, I do have Aaron Jones 1 spot higher than Austin Eckler. So I'm going to go with Aaron Jones. 1 spot higher. I have Aaron Jones as my running back 6 here, so I'm very happy getting him as my running back 1 in the back end of the first round. Great value to me. Hyper efficient. Should see more work in the passing game with no Jamal Williams. May have some touchdowns vultured by A.J. Dillon, but even with that in mind, I'm okay with that because he should make up for it with the increased workload in the rushing game. So now we got a little decision to make. To me, I love Stephon Diggs. And I love Travis Kelce, but it's more between Kelce and Eckler for me, because you get that positional advantage with Kelce as your tight end. And Eckler, for me, in PPR, getting him as my RB2, he's, like I said, right behind Aaron Jones for me. That's just great value. And to start off, Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, I really love to see that. So let's keep true to the brand here, going with a double running back to start it off. I do like Kelce, I do like Diggs, but just the safety of Austin Eckler is going to have a ton of catches, a lot of upside there. And second year with Herbert should be more, Herbert gets a little more comfortable. Eckler should be healthy this season, and if that's the case, then there is there's just, the ceiling is the moon. Like he could be 100 plus targets, and he's always been efficient catching the ball, and we might see maybe even a little increased workload in a running game now. So Austin Eckler, I think, is a great pick there. But let's go over to the draft board and see what went down. So after we went Eckler, we see a big run on wide receiver with DeAndre Hopkins, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Allen Robinson, Michael Thomas, Cam Akers, and Joe Mixon closing out that second round. And I'm just going to quickly say Travis Kelce going at the 303. I don't think you'll see that very often. Maybe in some leagues you will. This is 3 wide receivers, so wide receivers are a little bit more valuable here, and a flex. So you can start 3 running backs and 3 receivers, or 4 receivers and 2 running backs. So wide receiver and running back may be a little more valuable, but the positional advantage at tight end is obviously still there in a 10-team league, in any league, but it's more important in a 10-team league. So a lot of time I'd expect Kelce to go somewhere in the second round, but that's okay. It just goes to show with this Fantasy Pros thing, anything can happen. It simulates a real draft a little better than some other softwares do, just because anything can happen at any point. But after that, let's start off the third round with Calvin Ridley, Justin Jefferson, Kelce, Kittle, Mahomes, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, Darren Waller, and Antonio Gibson go. So we see some more wide receivers come off the board. Ridley, Jefferson, Keenan Allen, Patrick Mahomes comes off. You know how I feel about that. I'll wait on quarterback, man. Whoever falls to me at a value, I'm down for. If not, I'll go with Stafford late. I don't care. That's cool with me. I would have liked to get one of these tight ends here, but it's all right, man. So let's go over to the cheat sheet. Obviously, I'm a little sus that DeAndre Swift went. That's my boy. But hey, things happen. I understand. It's okay. We can live. But yeah, man, so I definitely do want to take a wide receiver here. And I see Terry McLaurin's available, Julio Jones, Godwin, Cooper, Woods, DJ Moore, Mike Evans. So for me, it's McLaurin, then Julio, then Cooper, then Woods, then Godwin, I think. Yeah, then Godwin. So it's kind of a tier break for me after Julio, and then, Cooper and Woods. So it's really between Terry McLaurin and Julio, right? Julio's getting a little older. He had an injury-riddled season last year, a lot of moving parts. Is he even going to be part of the Falcons anymore? We don't know. I do expect him to be back, but it just makes picking Terry McLaurin here a little easier for me. I think McLaurin's going to have a huge year. Obviously, he should be the target leader on this team. A lot of upside there. Relatively safe floor as well. He's playing with Fitzpatrick this year, which is obviously a bit of an upgrade at quarterback over the likes of Dwayne Haskins and Alex Smith. Fitzpatrick's a great quarterback for fantasy. He don't care. He degaffs it whenever he wants. And on top of that, he is the type of cat to hyper-target his number one receiver, which is great for Terry McLaurin. So now we have another decision to make here, and it is between another running back or a wide receiver. So I'm not going to take Hawkinson necessarily. I'm also not looking at Josh Allen and Kyler Murray, although I do think Josh Allen's a decent value here, or Kyler Murray, but I would rather wait on a quarterback like I had mentioned. And I'm looking at running back. If Swift was here, it would be a little harder of a decision, but Miles Sanders, Clyde, Dobbins, Montgomery, Carson, Najee, Josh Jacobs, Myles Gaskin. The guy that I got highest out of this group, I believe right now, is Miles Sanders, or maybe Chris Carson, actually, in full PPR. But for me, it's kind of easier. This made my decision easier with no DeAndre Swift. I'm going to double tap wide receiver here. I'm going to lock in 2 studs. You start 3 receivers every week. And if I can have Terry McLaurin and Julio Jones as my two of my 3 starting receivers, I'm looking really good. I feel safe there. And we'll see what happens, what falls to us at a value at running back. So yeah, let's go through the draft board here. And after we go with Terry and Julio, we see Najee, J.K. Dobbins, Godwin, Mike Evans, Miles Sanders, Amari Cooper, Josh Jacobs, Cooper Kupp, and David Montgomery rounding out the 4th round. Yeah, man, relatively standard. Again, you see Najee go. I don't expect him to be in the 4th round for long in 10-team leagues. Probably move up to like somewhere in the 3rd round, maybe even the 2nd round. Dobbins right around there. We see, some wide receivers go. No more quarterbacks. We actually didn't see Josh Allen go yet. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, let's go to the 5th round, and we see Robert Woods, CeeDee Lamb, Kenny Golladay, Clyde, Deontay, Ronald Jones. No way. Nope, not for me. Nope, no sir, Bobbery. Not feeling it. Nope. But anything can happen, man. I mean, Ronald Jones here is just kind of ridiculous, though, to be honest with you. I mean, he's going to be in a timeshare with at least Leonard Fournette. Bruce Arians talking about Keyshawn Vaughn's going to have a breakout year. Next thing you know, he's going to say Gio Bernard's having a breakout year. Yeah, after that, DJ Moore, Juju, Adam Thielen. So let's go over to our cheat sheet, right? And so we got 2 receivers, 2 running backs. We're balanced going into this round. We have a lot of flexibility. And there is something I noticed. I definitely want to take my 3rd running back here. That's for sure. I want to lock in my 3rd running back. I like to have depth at the position, and then I can kind of wait to get my running back 4 a little later on. So I see one guy in particular that's sticking out to me that I even thought about last round, and it's Chris Carson. But Chris Carson may not be here in a lot of leagues. And if he's not, that's okay, because Myles Gaskin's right down there below him. I do have Chris Carson pretty significantly higher than Myles Gaskin. But like if we look at some of the guys that went other than that, like Clyde, Miles Sanders, Najee, Dobbins, David Montgomery, I kind of got Myles Gaskin in that range. They could also add somebody, but I spoke about this in the last mock. I really like Myles Gaskin right now. I expect him to handle a near workhorse load in the offense. So, yeah, man, for me, it's Chris Carson here. But if Carson wasn't available, I would probably still go with Myles Gaskin. So, yeah, now we got Aaron Jones, Eckler, McLaurin, Julio, and Chris Carson. And there's something that sticks out to me here, man. And I talked about a little bit about positional advantage, right? And we have 2 really strong wide receivers. We have 2 back end or middling RB1s, 2 back end wide receiver 1s, and then we have Chris Carson, at least for me, right? Who is a middling RB2, right? So I'm kind of set up there. So I can kind of, whoever my wide receiver 3 is, as long as they're a relatively safe player, I'll be okay. Yep. So Hawkinson's there, right? So we could go with Hawkinson, but I think the positional advantage here, I know I say I wait on quarterback, but like I said, man, if a value falls to me, I'm in. So Josh Allen and Kyler Murray both still being on the board. We saw Patrick Mahomes go in the 3rd round. So now we're at the start of the 6th. So we're getting a 2.5 round value on Josh Allen, who has the upside, if all goes his way, to be the QB1. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the positional advantage here. I'm going to take Josh Allen in the 6th round. Big year last season. Obviously got another year with Stephon Diggs. They gave me the value pick. Yeah, I know. That's why I did it, bro. But yeah, another year with Stephon Diggs. Gabe Davis should step forward. They did lose John Brown, but he wasn't healthy most of the season. And they did replace him with Emmanuel Sanders, Cole Beasley there. So I expect a lot from Josh Allen. So I'm okay with that there. That works for me as my starting quarterback. So I'm glad that I did do that there, because I'm looking and I see right over here in the tight ends that all the guys that I would have taken are gone. So we're going to have to kind of just let it ride at tight end and probably pair up 2 guys a little later on. But we'll get to that when the time comes. So before we talk about our pick and what we're going to do, let's move over to the draft board. So after we go with Chris Carson and Josh Allen, we see Kyler Murray, T. Higgins, TJ Hawkinson, Gaskin, Mark Andrews, Tyler Lockett, Odell, Robbie Anderson, and Dak round out the 6th round. So Kyler and Dak go. It's kind of what I would have expected. Once, you see Josh Allen go, you see Kyler right after him. And then it's usually a toss-up between Dak and Lamar Jackson, right? So then, we see Hawkinson and Mark Andrews go. I think this is about right. I like Hawkinson more than Andrews. Apparently, Tony and Clyde do as well. So me, Tony, and Clyde are just the three's company right now. And then Gaskin goes and some wide receivers. And then start of the 7th round, we see Pitts go, which kind of stinks. I was hoping he would fall back to us. And Goddard. So that's the other guy that I kind of would have been targeting if I can't get Hawkinson or Kyle Pitts. Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, DJ Chark, Lamar, Melvin Gordon, Antonio Brown, and Courtland Sutton. This is really early for Antonio Brown. I like Antonio Brown a lot, but not this early. And then Sutton goes one pick before us. Oh, sucks, man. I would have gone with Courtland Sutton here as my wide receiver 3. But that's okay. Melvin Gordon also a bit early. I think he might have more value in the start than the finish of the season. And obviously, we kind of want to lean more towards players that will have more value as the season goes on. And I think Javonte will eventually, from get-go, will have a role. And probably, if he performs well, if Melvin Gordon slips up at all, will probably take over the majority of that workload in the Denver Broncos backfield. So yeah, let's go back over to the cheat sheet, y'all. And let's look. Like I said, tight end, we're kind of just going to wait. Running back, we have 3 strong running backs we're comfortable with, so I'm okay waiting a little bit. I do have 2 picks back-to-back here, but I definitely want to lock in a 3rd wide receiver, and I'm looking, and we have Tyler Boyd, Chase Claypool, Will Fuller, Jamar Chase, Cooks, Landry, Curtis Samuel, and there is one name here that sticks out to me, and we are in what? 7th round? End of the 7th round. So this is probably in a 10-team league around where you'll see Jamar Chase go, maybe the 6th round, but here in this draft, right now, for me, it would be between Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd. I do think Jamar Chase has a lot more upside, though. Tyler Boyd is a little safer, but I'm going to take Jamar Chase, man. I'm going to chase the high that is Jamar Chase and hope that he comes in and it is a 1A, 1B with him and Higgins. A lot of targets right off the bat, has a big season, and can be a strong wide receiver 3 for our roster. So we are looking here again, and we have a decision to make between, do we want to get our RB4 or our wide receiver 4? We're balanced up to this point. We got 3 running backs, 3 receivers, all guys with a lot of upside, relatively safe floors with McLaurin and Julio as long as he can stay healthy. Aaron Jones and Eckler, both studs. Chris Carson, another guy that I think is going to be heavily involved in the offense. So I think here I'm just going to go based on whoever I think the best player available is. And unfortunately, now that we have Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd would be my highest wide receiver, but I'm not going to take both of them. But then I see that Kareem Hunt is still available, Travis Etienne, Chase Edmonds, Mike Davis is down there. Yeah, all right, you know what? I'm going to just lock in my RB4 and just have a strong running back core. And you know what the good news about this is? I'm going to take Mike Davis, by the way. The good news about this is that if all goes right, and Aaron Jones and Eckler are what we expect, and Chris Carson's really good, and Mike Davis does handle the lion's share of the workload for the Atlanta Falcons, and he's productive. If we wanted to, we could go ahead and move one of these guys and maybe another piece and go out and try to get, either Hawkinson or Waller or Kittle or whatever a few weeks into the season. Somebody has a down week or whatever and try to capitalize on that because we have so much depth at those positions. So we're very flexible here. So yeah, and Mike Davis, man, I love Mike Davis. I think he's criminally underrated right now, and maybe that's just because we still have some offseason to go and they could add someone, but it's an open running back room, and I think he is clearly going to be the lead back as of this point. So as the offseason progresses, and if they don't add anyone and it's clear he's going to be the number 1 guy, I would expect his ADP to rise a bit. But anyways, I have him as my last RB2, like a back-end RB2, running back 23, 24 right now. Let's look at the draft board, though. After I go Mike Davis and Jamar Chase before that, we see Curtis Samuel, big run on quarterback with Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, then a little break, Fuller, Claypool, and then we see Russell Wilson, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert go, and Laviska Shenault after that. So yeah, man, I am pretty happy that I actually ended up landing Josh Allen in the 6th round. Great value there. And then if we hadn't done that and we had waited, we wouldn't have got any of these high-end guys. We would have been just waiting in Stafford. So I'm happy getting the positional advantage of Josh Allen there, and we still have a strong roster around him and we're deep at wide receiver and running back, which is great. You would love to see that, especially in a 10-team league. You want to have depth because everyone's going to have a pretty good starting lineup for the most part in a 10-team league. But having that depth is what's going to kind of separate because there's going to be injuries. Things are going to happen. Some players are going to bust. And you want to have depth at those running back and wide receivers positions, the guys that you have to start at least two a week, and then you have the flex where you can play any of those guys. So you're starting 6 of these guys total on most weeks. You're usually not going to play a tight end in your flex. So yeah, having that depth, if anything happens, really ends up helping in a long season, especially with a 17-game season this year. So let's go to the cheat sheet once again. Oh wait, did we go through? Oh, I'm sorry. So the 9th round. Jarvis Landry, big run on running back with Chase Edmonds, James Robinson, Kareem Hunt, Travis Etienne, Tyler Boyd, Brandon Cooks, Leonard Fournette, and Jerry Jeudy coming off the board. Now, this is more where I expect James Robinson to go in this 9th round range, 8th, 9th round. Chase Edmonds and Kareem Hunt and Etienne are all great values here. I would expect their ADPs to rise a bit too. Seems like this draft has been a little more balanced. A lot of running backs early, but then we've seen some great value fall. This is an RB0 truther's dream. Is any of these sickos doing that? Oh yeah, pump the Drakes. Pump the Drakes. I shouldn't say I hate. I don't hate anything. I dislike RB0. I'm not into RB0 at all. I just don't think it's a great strategy, but some people like it. Like this guy's relying on Ronald Jones and Gaskin. I like Gaskin, but not Ronald Jones. But yeah, anyways, let's go back over to the cheat sheet and let's see what we're going to do here. So we are, like I said, relatively balanced at both wide receiver and running back. So I'm probably going to be looking at a wide receiver here, and a lot of it has dried up a bit. We see Devontae Parker, Corey Davis, Marquise Brown, Michael Gallup, Michael Pittman, Devonta Smith, Marvin Jones, Cole Beasley, guys of that like that. So yeah, man, I got 3 receivers I feel pretty confident in. Jamar Chase, obviously being a rookie, does have a lot of upside. We could go with a little more safety here. But for me, there's one name that's sticking out, and I know I already have one rookie wide receiver, but I'm going to take a shot, man. I'm going to take Devonta Smith, wide receiver of the Philadelphia Eagles. Probably is going to slot in as the wide receiver 1 from day one. Be between him and Goddard for the number 1 option on the team. I expect Rager to probably be the number 2 receiver. And if Jalen Hurts can put it together, develop as a passer, there's a lot of upside there for Devonta Smith. But like I said, there's a lot of upside. Same with Jamar Chase. But neither of them are a sure thing, obviously. Obviously, Jamar Chase and Devonta Smith, both great prospects, should work out fine. But they are not sure things. So with that being said, maybe we should look at a little more safety with our next pick at wide receiver. And there is one guy that sticks out to me as a very safe pick. I don't have him ranked here. There's guys I have higher. I believe I have Parker, maybe Pittman above him as well. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Cole Beasley. This is full PPR. And locking in Cole Beasley as reach alert. That's okay. I don't care. I just lock in the guy that I want to take there. It's all right. So we take Cole Beasley because he's going to provide us a safe floor. And if anything happens to Julio or Jamar Chase or Devonta Smith don't work out, we have a guy we can put in our lineup every week that we know is going to give us, 12 PPR points. He's never going to really win you a week, but he won't lose you a week either. He's solid. We know what we're getting with him, and we have that little stack with him and Josh Allen now too, which is nice. Love to see it. So yeah, we went with Cole Beasley with our last pick. Maybe a little bit too early. I think we picked him in the 10th round? Yeah, the 10th round. So maybe a little early for Cole Beasley, but with how I've kind of built my team, I do want to have some safety at wide receiver too. So after Cole Beasley, we see Corey Davis, Damian Harris, David Johnson, Devontae Parker, James Conner, Raheem Mostert, Kenyon Drake, Trey Sermon, and Michael Pittman come off the board. Little run on running back. Then in the 11th, we see Michael Carter, Michael Gallup, Marquise Brown, Darnell Mooney, Marvin Jones, Jalen Reagor, Sterling Shepard, Jalen Waddle, and one pick before is Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams should have gone above everybody here. In my opinion, I would have probably taken him right around the ETN Kareem Hunt range, probably right in front of Leonard Fournette, actually. Yeah, for me, and James Robinson. But, like I said, anything can happen. People might be sleeping in your draft. So let's see here. Go back over to the cheat sheet for us. So we got, like I said before, a pretty balanced team. Let's go look at tight end real quick. Now, I do see some value here. I do. And I was going to wait a little bit, but you know what? Noah Fant is still here and a lot of upside, solid player. Another guy that I think, if all goes right for him, has a whole lot of upside. And I got a steal to make up for Cole Beasley there with the reach alert. So yeah, Noah Fant, a whole lot of upside. Should be integral part of this offense. So I'm okay with that there. And yeah, let's look here. So we got 4 running backs. We got 5 receivers. I feel like we're getting to the point in the draft that if I don't take another running back here, there's just going to be no one I really like left. So I like to have 5 running backs anyways. So let's just lock in our last guy. And it's going to be one of these 2 Buffalo guys. And I know I already have Cole Beasley. I have Josh Allen. But looking at everyone else on the board, Nyheim Hines, Tariq Cohen, Tony Pollard, A.J. Dillon, McKissick. Nobody that really sticks out to me too much. So I'm going to go ahead and take Zach Moss. They didn't draft anybody. Another value pick. Look at that. Back to back. We'd love to see it. I'm going to take Zach Moss because I can see him kind of taking over a little bit more for Devin Singletary. Did struggle with some injuries last season, but see him kind of bouncing back and being a good value in the 12th round, 11th, 12th round, 12th round. The 12th round. Look at that. All right, we're going to scroll down a little bit here. We're going to kind of pick up the pace a little bit. So after we go Noah Fant and Zach Moss, we see Gesicki, Jeff Wilson, Joe Burrow, Robert Tonyan, Singletary, Nyheim Hines, A.J. Dillon, Higbee, Logan Thomas go. And then the 13th round, J.D. McKissick, Tony Pollard, Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, Irv Smith, damn it, Tevin Coleman, Tariq Cohen, Ryan Tannehill, James White. Irv Smith was the guy I was going to pair with Noah Fant as my second tight end with one of these 2 picks to kind of just shore it up. I mean, Fant's good, so I don't necessarily need a second tight end. Probably going to take one, though, just to be safe. So if Fant doesn't work out or we want to mismatch weeks, we can do that. But yeah, let's go back over to the cheat sheet. So let's look here. Is there any value still laying around at tight end, or am I just going to wait till the last round to get back up? Yeah. No, nothing I really love. So we're going to go over to wide receiver. We're done with running back. We're done with quarterback. We want tight end and wide receiver for the rest of the draft. So I'm looking at wide receiver. We have Mike Williams, T.Y. Hilton, Crowder, John Brown, Ruggs, Aguilar. And now I'm looking down here. I do see Gabe Davis, but I already have Cole Beasley and Zach Moss, Josh Reynolds. All right, so there's one guy I see, and he's relatively far down here, and I could probably get him next round. They're definitely going to give me a reach alert here. I'm probably going to get a shit grade in this because I'm drafting so many rookies, but I don't give a shit. I am taking Rashad Bateman, wide receiver of the Baltimore Ravens. I'm pretty sure I took him in the last mock draft. They didn't give me a reach alert, but yeah, man, it's like for Rashad Bateman, for me, it's just like the upside is there if he comes in and he is the number 1 receiver. Like I mentioned, I do expect him to pass more. I expect him to be the alpha at least as of wide receivers. Mark Andrews probably the number 1 option in the passing game, but Rashad Bateman should be close behind him right off the bat. And I expect Lamar to take a step forward as a passer, so I'm okay with taking a late round flyer on Rashad Bateman. And let's look at wide receiver. I don't know if I want to wait or if I just want to lock in a second tight end here. Is there anyone that I really like still? I'm scrolling down a bit to see. I have a lot of rookies already, and I kind of want to take Terrace Marshall too. Oh, man. Am I really just going to go all in on the rookies? If you got to keep a league, this is the way to do it. But I don't know, man. It would be between Terrace Marshall or Mike Williams for me right now, I think. Right? Right? Maybe Josh Reynolds. You know what? I do have Eckler. How many rookies we got? Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, Rashad Bateman. Yeah, one guy that ain't. You know what? I don't care. I'm the rookie man. Last year I had one of my teams I named, one of my fantasy teams I named Rookie RB Season because I had like 4 rookie running backs. I had James Robinson, Antonio Gibson, Jonathan Taylor, and someone else. It wasn't Swift, but I had another one. I had like 4 rookie running backs, but Hey, man, I'm going to take Terrace Marshall here. I know it's probably going to give me the reach alert. No, it's just I'm going for upside here, man. And Terrace Marshall could slot into that Curtis Samuel role, be very productive right off the bat. Playing here in Carolina with a new quarterback and a fresh slate there in Carolina, transitioning to the NFL, probably going to play in the slot, explosive player. And if he can stay healthy, I know that was a little bit of a concern. Whole lot of upside there. So our bench is filled with a lot of upside. I am going to probably get an F in this draft from the grade from Fantasy Pros, but I don't care because they just don't value rookies as much for whatever reason. But that might have actually changed because they put out their projections. So these guys actually, I think they use a few different things to do the grading, but who cares anyways? All right, so let's look at the draft board before we make our last pick, and let's scroll down a little bit. Ooh, let's scroll up by accident. All right. So, after I go Terrace Marshall and Bateman, we see Hunter Henry, Jamison Crowder, Jonnu Smith, Latavius Murray, Mike Williams, T.Y. Hilton, Christian Kirk, Matt Stafford at the 1409. Love that. Elijah Moore, Trevor Lawrence, Mecole Hardman, Marlon Mack, Gus Edwards, Jamal Williams, Philip Lindsay, Darius Slayton, Keyshawn Vaughn, and Ryan Fitzpatrick. You love to see it, baby. And yeah, man, let's just get this show on the road. I don't want to keep y'all too long. Oh man, he is still there. Oh God. I hate this so much. And I'm probably going to do it. We ended last one on a very excited note. We do want to draft the backup tight end. And I was really I was going to take Austin Hooper because I think Austin Hooper is just like a safe floor of what he should be. He should be involved in the offense. The games he did play last year, he was relatively productive. I don't think he would be like a world beater, but I do think he'll be all right. But Evan Engram's still there. And I hate Evan Engram. I don't hate him. Like, I just got to stop saying I hate. But, like, let's look at Evan Engram last year. He had a lot of drops. Played 16 games, 63 catches, 109 targets, 654 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Now, I'd expect his role to kind of, probably actually, no, not, Galladay's there. Targets probably go down a little bit. Shepard's still going to be involved. They drafted Kadarius Toney. Let me look at Hooper last year. So Hooper, last season in 13 games, had 46 receptions, 435 yards, and 4 touchdowns. You know what? I might get some flack for this, man. I don't know. Some people hate Evan Engram as much. Oh, God, I got to stop saying that. Dislike Evan Engram as much as I do. So I'm fading. I'm going with my gut. I don't care. This is kind of weird. And it's a little safer, too. And I wanted to draft someone kind of safe to go with Noah Fant. I'm going to take Austin Hooper as my tight end, too, to wrap up this draft. So we got to see a 73 out of 100. I kind of expected a not very good grade because we drafted a lot of rookies. And for whatever reason, they don't really value the rookies as much. But that's fine. Who cares? Anyways, like I said, it doesn't matter. It's pretty standard, But anyways, yeah. All right, let's go through our team before we wrap this up, right? So we got Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler in the first 2 rounds, Terry McLaurin and Julio Jones, Chris Carson and Josh Allen, Jamar Chase and Mike Davis, Devontae Smith and Cole Beasley, Noah Fant, Zach Moss, Rashad Bateman, Terrace Marshall, and Austin Hooper. So our starting lineup will be Josh Allen at quarterback, Aaron Jones and Eckler at running backs, McLaurin, Julio, Jamar Chase at wide receivers, Chris Carson in our flex, and then Noah Fant at tight end. And then our bench will be Mike Davis, Devonta Smith, Cole Beasley, Zach Moss, Rashad Bateman, Terrace Marshall, and Austin Hooper. So yeah, man, I look at this and we're balanced. We have a lot of strength at running back with Aaron Jones and Eckler as our 2 starting running backs, McLaurin and Julio, all those guys, right? So in my rankings, my personal rankings, these guys are all back-end running back ones or back-end wide receiver ones. And that's one of the good things about picking at one of these swing picks is sometimes you can get with that second pick, you know what I mean? In that first pick of the next round, you can get some value there. And I was able to lock in guys that I have a lot of faith in and start off my draft with 2 running back ones and 2 wide receiver ones. And then getting a middling RB2 for me and Chris Carson, and a high upside, I believe, wide receiver 2 in Jamar Chase, or he might be like a high-end wide receiver 3 for me, but with the upside to be a wide receiver 2+. And then a lot of upside on the bench with Mike Davis as our RB4, some rookies with Devonta Smith, Rashad Bateman, Terrace Marshall, all guys coming in to offenses where they should have a role right away, and we don't really know what to expect, but just in case None of them work out. We took shots on a lot of guys. We did get Cole Beasley at least to be a little safe, and we have Zach Moss. And then we got Font and Austin Hooper as our tight ends. Font with a little more upside, Hooper being a little safer. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I had a blast making it, as per usual. You know I love to do the mocks, so this was really fun. If you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you guys would have done differently, what picks you liked, what picks you didn't like, and let me know if there's any particular mock drafts you want me to do, whether it be 10, 12, 14 teams, the scoring, half PPR, full PPR, where you want me to pick from, how you want the roster set up, super flex, whatever. I'm down to try whatever. I don't know much about salary cap leagues though, so if you're into that, that might be the one thing that I'm not really too keen with. I don't really know too much about it, but I'll try, you know what I mean? So let me know. Let me know down in the comments what you guys want to see in the future, and if you're liking the video, let me know as well. But I really appreciate y'all spending some time with me today. It means a lot. Thank you so much for coming by. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Thank you. Love you. Peace.